Melted Wipes is a new instrument from Komplete 14 by Native Instruments from the Play series. Create instant earworms with warped keys, detuned plucks and wonky synths. 150 presets for pop, trap and R&B melodics. My name is Thomas Foster and in this video we will listen to the sounds of Melted Wipes and I explain you how to edit the sound or adapt them to your track. Good to have you here, let's go! To load the Melted Wipes you first have to load the Komplete control. We find it here. If you click on this area then you can scroll here to Melted Wipes or you can load them into the contact player. What I will do, because then you can see here my keys, then you see which keys I'm playing. So here in this area we can say MEL to faster find the Melted Wipes. Here it is. And the first thing we can do, we can listen to some presets. To load a preset, simply click here. We have some categories. The first one is the bass. Let's start with the angry synth bass. You can load them here by going to the next one, Hate or Hate. Or you can scroll with these little arrows through the sounds. Here on the bottom you see 8 macros. So here you can change the sound with a cut off, with a resonance, with a rotator, lo-fi, reverb, melt. But what these macros are doing are changing with each sound. So you also can define your own macros. The only two knobs that are not changing is the balance and the volume. The volume is easy to understand. Here that's the volume of the whole sound. And with the balance you can define the balance between two sounds, the A and the B. So each preset that we load here, like the wacky synth bass, comes with A and B, two sounds. And here with balance you can listen just to A, that's the sound A, and to B. And you can mix them. And you also can change them here by clicking through the sounds of B or by clicking here to use the browser to load something else. So let's see what is the next category. It's guitar. The alien guitar. So in addition to our knobs and the two sound browser here, we have 5 pages. The sound page, here you can change some settings for sound A and B. The FX, here you can load 6 effects and 2 EQs. The SAQ, that's a sequencer. The macros and the settings. Yeah, and with this cross here you can close it again to come back to the main page. Let's go to the next category. Before we come to the next category, we have here the init. So if you want to program your own sound, program your own sound from scratch, this is a good start point, the init. Because here all the macros are resetted and it's easy to create something new. Next category are the keys instruments. We start with the 80s baby. And then we're listening to the Andromeda. For a special genre, this could be really cool. Bad Trip. What else do we have? I'm just pressing one key. And this is the sequencer here. You see? If I turn this off, we hear it very normal, but we come to this a little later. Maybe we first look to the sound page. So I click on the sound page. I have here my two layers, A and B. That's exactly this piano 1A layer here and the electric piano layer. And now I can change something on A, like the transpose. And you see that we are just pitching one layer. If I would go to B and transpose this, then the other layer is changing. If I want to transpose both the same, I click here on this link button. And now, with one knob, I can change A and B. That's very useful. To come back to the middle, hold down the command or the control key and click on it, and it goes perfectly back to the middle. Here we have the tune, the panning. We can change the sounds here of A and B, but that's basically the same like we had here. Here we have some special vintage effects like the reduce, crush, noisy, color. And you can turn them off. We have here a filter with resonance. We have here key track, means that the filter is changing depending on how high you play. So here the filter is dark and here we have more high frequencies, right? So we turn the filter off. So many effects. We can hear it without effects. That's very cool. One button. Now not so many effects. That's good. Here is very important the envelope. So here you can say how fast the sound is starting with the attack. So we have a fade in. You also have a curve here. Simply click on it and move it. The release, that's what's happening if you release the key. And decay and sustain. If I go down with the sustain, decay volume, the sustain volume, I can make the decay very short, a little longer, and the sustain. So, wonderful. And then what else do we have on this page? We have the modulation envelope. So that's exactly the same, but we can use it for every knob here, like the two LFOs. I would like to demonstrate you this with the LFO. So if I want to place this LFO, let's say on the detune. So exactly like this. Okay, what we do is we click here on LFO 1, and if I activate this LFO, then you see this little faders here on the side of each knob. Yeah, so I click on LFO 1 to say I want to control with the LFO 1 the detune. So I have to move the slider. Okay, I can change the rate. You also can change it in time. You click on this note and then you can make quarters. You can change here the waveform. Let's click again on LFO 1 to also control the filter. I'll make it faster. All right, and you exactly the same way you can control what is controlled by the LFO2, by the modulation wheel, aftertouch, velocity, or by this modulation envelope here. Okay, let's close it again, and now we go to the next category. We listen to the lead instruments. Maybe we take a look to the FX page. Here we have two EQs, one for layer A and one for layer B. So let's select layer A. Don't forget to turn the FX on. If this is not on, you don't hear it. And now we pump the gain. Simply like this. So this is an EQ equalizer for layer A and this for layer B. Here is the first effect slot. In this case, it's a tap saturation. Maybe we turn all these kinds here off. Now we're just listening to the tape delay, tape saturation. If you want to change the effect, click here on this arrow. Then you have all the effects, and then now you can say, I want the reverb. Turn it off. Let's click to the rotator. So you can click on every effect and change the effect here. So basically you have 6 possibilities to load an effect on your sound. Let's go to the next category, the orchestra sounds. All right. maybe we use here this one. Oh, I like that. That's pretty nice. Next category is the organ. Yeah, maybe we use this sound to work a little bit on this sequencer. So we click on the sequencer page to see the sequencer. Here you can say if you want to hear the sequencer just on layer A, just on layer B, or on both. Here is none, so nothing is happening. A and B. All right, why don't we mute the effects? And also we could go to sounds and link this and make it a little bit shorter. Now we really hear what's happening. We go back to SAQ sequencer. Here we can change the velocity. Maybe go to 8 steps. Here you can control the pitch. Here you can set a root key. Maybe we choose D minor and the minor scale. Now every note is within the D minor scale. That's wonderful. We can change here the rate. We can give it here a swing. So go back to 16. And what I really love is the possibility that you also have a step sequencer for the macros. So let's go to macro 1, 2. That's the cutoff and the resonance. On the cutoff, we choose some accents, but don't forget to choose here the amount. Otherwise, nothing is happening. Resonance here. And here we choose 5 is the reverb. Amount, always important. And we have to turn on the effects, otherwise we don't hear it. So you can create funny stuff very fast with this sequencer. This is pretty good. Cool. Let's go to the next category, the plug sounds, or the pad, sorry. Falling Rain. The fog. The heavens synth. And what else do we have? The Holler at Me. Yeah, the last page we never looked is the macros page. Here you see exactly which macro is doing what. So if I go to cut off here, I see, okay, the first cut off slider is doing the cut off for layer A and the cut off of layer B. So just turn back the reverb. So we can change, for example, now for layer A, we make it exactly the other way around. So now we have changing the filters A and B. But you also can remove these effects. So now nothing is happening. Now we can change the name. Simply click here, delete the letters. Let's choose my name, Thomas Foster. Thomas Foster. All right. And now let's go to the sound page. Maybe we want to change here this tune knob. All right. So click on this little button here. Now it's blinking and now we click on it and now we are controlling this tune knob even if it's not easy to hear, right? But we also can make something else. We go to B here and also connect this one. That's very easy to hear. But we can say maybe not so low and not so high, just like something like this. And in additional, I would like to control the cutoff of layer B. So click, but not so much, just a little bit. So it's very easy to create your own macros, and that's pretty cool and very powerful. I think we did not listen to the plucked sounds. This is 2020 hits. If you just press one knob and it's playing by its own, then it's always the sequencer. And with a simple click on this button here, you can turn it off. And now we're just playing one note and can play something on our own. Wonderful. And the last category is the synth category. So let's wrap up. To load a preset, click here on this arrow. Here you have your categories. If you want to program a sound on your own, start with the init. We have always two layers, A and B. You can change them with the arrows here or by clicking on the name and using the browser. We have here 6 macros. We can define them very easy. If we click here on the macros page, here macros, no, if we go to the sound page, sorry, then we can click here to make this blinking and say, I want to control the color here, right? We have the sound page where you can change the sound setting for layer A and B or link them to control both at the same time. We have here the effect page where we can load up to 6 effects and change them here with this menu. We have the sequencer page where you have a sequencer where you just press one button and the sequencer is playing on its own with a special melody, special velocity. Don't forget to turn here the layer routing on, otherwise nothing is happening. And we have here the macros page where you can control what these macros are doing. I created a YouTube playlist for you with all my videos for Komplete 14. You find the link to this playlist in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. Always stay creative. Cheers!
We at Mugent have been working hard to create a new plugin that is more musical than anything else out there. We are thrilled to present the Mugen Player. Each instrument in the Mugen Player comes with a composition, MIDI files you just drag and drop into your session, so you can be inspired not only by a sound, but also by an exciting melody or characteristic chord progression. All of our instruments and MIDI files can be downloaded from the cloud. This means that every time you open the plugin, there might just be a new patch or a new MIDI file waiting for you. Simply double-click to load it into your plugin. In addition to the individual instruments, the Mugen Player also has kits. These are arrangements that sound like a complete song. With a single click, you can load all the patches, and as soon as you've dropped the MIDI files into your DAW, you can start using them to create something new. But the most incredible thing is, the basic version of Mugen Player is free. Click on the link in the video description to get the Mugen Player. In it, you will find a large selection of instruments, MIDI files, and kits that you can download for free and start using right away. Get the Mugen Player now and create music inspired by great sounds and compositions. Mugent, to make music.